Alina always seemed like the perfect woman. Stunning looks, piercing green eyes, refined manners, and a sharp mind. She was the kind of woman other women envied, and men couldn't forget. She had a good life, a stable job, a cozy apartment in the heart of the city, and a husband who adored her. Iyer, her husband of 9 years, was the kind of man most women dreamed of marrying. Honest, dependable, calm. He brought her breakfast in bed on Sundays, never forgot an anniversary, and supported her through everything. Their life together looked flawless from the outside. Vacations in Europe, long dinners by candlelight, shared dreams. But for Alina, something was missing. She had grown bored. Stability turned to monotony. Iyer's predictability felt suffocating. She missed the thrill, the chase, the butterflies, the danger. So when she ran into Anton, her former high school classmate, at the gym, something in her shifted. Anton was different. Confident, sarcastic, rough around the edges. The kind of man who looked at her like he already owned her, and that stirred something deep inside. He wasn't safe, and that's what made him irresistible. At first, it was innocent, just chatting, catching up. But soon the messages turned late night, flirtatious, suggestive. She told herself it was harmless, that she loved Iyer and would never cross the line. But she did. And once the line was crossed, there was no going back. The affair began slowly. A coffee here, a lunch there. But it didn't stay innocent for long. Alina found herself making excuses to leave work early. She'd go to Anton's apartment under the pretense of yoga classes or late meetings. The excitement was intoxicating. Every touch felt electric, every glance a secret. She felt alive in a way she hadn't in years. Anton, for his part, knew exactly what he was doing. He wasn't in love with her. He was playing a game, a dangerous one. He loved the fact that he could take something that belonged to another man, especially someone like Iyer. Anton always had a chip on his shoulder, a deep resentment toward men who had it all. And Iyer, with his success and seemingly perfect wife, became his target. Alina didn't see it. Blinded by lust and the thrill of the forbidden, she convinced herself that she was finally doing something for herself. She told herself Iyer had changed, that their love had grown stale, that she deserved passion. She started to resent Iyer for not being Anton. Meanwhile, Iyer began to notice. At first, it was subtle. Her phone always on silent, the sudden desire for privacy, the odd, unexplained absences. He dismissed it, told himself he was being paranoid. But something gnawed at him. Then one day, he saw her phone light up while she was in the shower. Anton's speech balloon. Last night was fire. Can't stop thinking about you. Iyer didn't move. He stared at the message as if it were written in another language. His stomach dropped. The shower continued to run, the sound suddenly deafening. Something inside him snapped. He didn't confront her. Not right away. Instead, he began to watch. Iyer changed after that day, quietly, carefully. He started paying attention to things he never used to. How long her showers lasted. How often she went out with the girls. What excuses she gave. How her tone shifted when she talked about work. Every detail became a puzzle piece in a picture he was slowly assembling. But Alina didn't notice. She was too deep in her affair, too wrapped up in the fantasy Anton created for her. He told her she was too good for a boring life. He whispered promises he never intended to keep. She started dreaming about a future with him, one where she'd leave Iyer and start over. She imagined telling Iyer the truth, framing it as falling out of love, softening the betrayal. But Anton had other plans. One night, while Alina slept beside Iyer, her face peaceful, as if her world was untouched, Iyer quietly got out of bed. He'd installed a spyware app on her phone weeks earlier. Everything she received, he saw. Every message, every photo, every call. And tonight, something new arrived. Anton had sent her a picture of them, naked in bed, grinning like children who'd just broken the rules. But the real dagger came in the message below. Anton's speech balloon. Still can't believe your husband's that clueless. Bet he'd fall apart if he ever found out. Iyer stared at the screen. He wasn't angry anymore. Something colder had replaced the fury, calculation. He began to formulate a plan. Over the next 2 weeks, Iyer played the role of the oblivious husband flawlessly. He kissed Alina on the forehead each morning, brought her coffee, made small talk about dinner plans. He even booked them a weekend getaway to a cozy cabin in the Carpathians, something they hadn't done in years. Alina, flustered by guilt but still entangled in Anton's web, interpreted Ayer's tenderness as renewed love. She began to reconsider telling him the truth. But Ayer had no illusions. Behind his calm demeanor, he was preparing the final move. He hired a private investigator, an old military friend who owed him a favor. Within days, Ayer had everything: photos of Anton and Alina entering hotels, timestamps, locations, even a recording from a wiretap of them laughing about how easy it had all been. He saved it all. Then he called Anton. "Let's meet," Ayer said, his voice measured. "Just us. No Alina." Anton hesitated but agreed. He was cocky, overconfident. The meeting spot was a quiet bar on the outskirts of the city. Ayer arrived first. When Anton walked in, he gave Ayer that same smug smile he used to charm Alina. But Ayer didn't flinch. He slid a flash drive across the table. "You should see what's on it before you open your mouth." Anton plugged it into his phone. As he watched the footage, of himself, of Alina, his smirk faltered. "Why are you showing me this?" he finally asked. Ayer leaned in. "Because I want you to disappear. Today. From her life. No messages. No calls. Nothing. Or the next time someone sees this footage, it'll be her parents, her boss, and everyone in your life who might care about the trash you are." Anton's confidence cracked, but he tried to act unbothered. "She won't believe you." Ayer smiled. "I don't need her to believe anything. I just need her to hurt." Anton vanished like smoke. No messages. No calls. No goodbye. One day, Alina woke up and realized he was gone. At first, she panicked. She thought maybe something had happened to him. She tried calling, texting, nothing. His social media accounts were gone. His gym membership canceled. It was like he had never existed. Her world started unraveling. She paced around their apartment like a caged animal, trying to understand what had gone wrong. Had he gotten scared? Found someone else? Or had something happened that she didn't know about? She grew more distracted at home. Short-tempered. Distant. Ayer noticed, of course. But he said nothing. Instead, he observed her unravel with quiet satisfaction. And then he struck. One evening, he asked her to sit down. His tone was calm, too calm. "I know about Anton," he said, watching her flinch like she'd been slapped. Her face turned pale. What are you talking about?" He didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. He pulled out his laptop, opened a folder titled Lies, and began playing video after video, surveillance footage, screenshots of messages, recordings of moans and whispers exchanged in hotel rooms. Alina gasped, covered her mouth, tears welling in her eyes. "I can explain." "No," he said flatly. "You don't get to explain. You already said everything I needed to know to him." "Ayer, please," her voice cracked. "You lied to me every day for almost a year. You betrayed me, disrespected me, and you didn't even have the decency to feel guilty." She fell to her knees, sobbing. "It was a mistake. I was lost. You were selfish," he interrupted. "And now, you'll feel what I felt." He stood up, walked toward the door, and said without turning back, "You'll be served divorce papers tomorrow. I'll be keeping the apartment." "And your parents?" "I already sent them the video." Then he left. Alina sat on the cold kitchen floor long after Ayer left, the glow of the laptop screen still casting damning light across her tear-streaked face. She replayed everything in her mind. The nights with Anton, the lies she told Ayer, the smug sense of control she thought she had. All of it came crashing down like glass underfoot. The divorce moved quickly. Ayer had prepared everything in advance. The evidence was so overwhelming that she had no leverage. He kept the apartment, the car, and most of their shared assets. She walked away with a small settlement, just enough to cover a deposit on a tiny rental flat on the edge of town. Her parents were devastated. Her father stopped speaking to her. Her mother cried on the phone the day after receiving the email from Ayer. "I raised you better than this," was all she managed to say before hanging up. At work, whispers followed her. Somehow, as if by fate, parts of the scandal leaked. Her image of professionalism was shattered. She wasn't fired, but she was quietly pushed aside, passed up for promotions, excluded from meetings. The HR department strongly encouraged her to take unpaid leave. And Anton, he never resurfaced. She tried searching for him, sending emails, reaching out to mutual friends. But he was gone, a ghost who'd left her to deal with the wreckage alone. Nights were the worst. In the silence of her apartment, she replayed every decision, every word. She would stare at old photos of her and Ayer, birthday dinners, city strolls, beach sunsets, and feel something deeper than regret, shame. One night, she saw him again. Ire. He was walking hand in hand with another woman. Tall, graceful, elegant. They were laughing, radiant in the golden light of evening. For a moment, Alina stood frozen across the street. Ire glanced up, saw her, and simply nodded, no anger in his eyes. Just peace. That hurt more than rage ever could. He had moved on. He was free. She, meanwhile, was left with the echo of her choices. And that echo never stopped.